Hello everyone, thank you for watching this presentation. I've got a really good friend, his name is Art E. Choke. He's a farmer, really cool guy, love him. And my friend Art E. Choke, he's got a farm, it's called Sigma Sprouts Vegetable Farm. And he came to me with a math problem. He actually needed information for his farm and I agreed to help him. This is a diagram of the farm and this is what he showed me. He said his farm is divided into 3 sections because he has 3 main types of vegetables. And my friend Art E. Choke, he said he knows this particular section, the area is 40 kilometers squared. This part here at the bottom is 24 kilometers squared. He wants to know the area of the middle rectangle. He needs to know for many reasons, for the crops and everything. So I just called it A for area. And something else interesting he tells me, he knows from before that from this point to that point, it's 12 kilometers long. And from this point to this point is 10 kilometers long. That's the information he knows he could tell me. Based on that, what is the area of that middle rectangular part? Okay, so what I did is I started looking at area. And I came up with these equations, and I'm going to explain why. If we go back to his farm over here, do you remember area of a rectangle is length times width? So let's say to begin with, we just look at this part of his farm. This area is 12 times x, and it's also area is of any shape is all the parts added together. The area of this rectangle is 40 plus a. A is that unknown I'm trying to solve. So 40 plus a equals 12 times x. Length times width is the area of a rectangle. There I wrote it down. 40 plus a is 12x. That's a short way of saying 12 times x. And it's the exact same concept for these two. We've got, remember, I called that x. I can write it here as well so we don't get confused. We've got this part here, the area 10 times x, length times width is this area. And this big area is the same as saying 24 and a added together. And that's what we have there. 10 times x, we write as 10x was short, is 24 plus a. See, so now I have 2 equations. Now I rewrote those 2 equations here. And something interesting, we can add and subtract equations. And I'm going to show you why quickly. I love this. Let's say we've got a balancing scale, right? And let's say it balances nicely, which means we've got the same amount. Now imagine this balancing scale with the same amount on each side. That's why it's balancing. And I remove the exact same from each one. So I'm making up numbers. Let's say we've got 20 ounces in each one, and I remove exactly 3 ounces from each side. It will still balance. Does that make sense? It's the same concept here. I've got this equation, left equals right. If I subtract the second line from the first line, I'm subtracting the same amount on each side. Left equals right. Therefore, if I subtract this and I subtract the right side here, it's the same amount, the same concept. It will still be equal. So 12x, let's pretend it's like the left side of that scale. The left side, I'm subtracting 10x, I get 2x. The right side, I'm subtracting 24 plus a. So 40 minus 24 is 16, and a minus a gets me 0. You see, I always say with algebra, with each step, there's always 2 concepts. Firstly, it must be true, and secondly, it must be helpful. It is true if left equals left, I beg your pardon, left equals right, and left equals right. Left minus left equals right minus right. That is true. And now the reason why it's helpful, If I subtract one equation from the others, the a's disappear. There's not as many letters to work with. It becomes easier to solve. Now I'm left with 2x equals 16, and I'm going to bring in my balancing scale once more. The two sides are equal. If I divide each side by the same amount, they will still be equal. So here I've got 2x equals 16. I'm dividing both sides by 2. It's true because, as I said, I'm dividing by the same amount, and it's helpful because x is much simpler than 2x. We've solved that x is equal to 8. So that's a fact. That's true, but the question was solve for a. I can take either of these two equations, put that 8 in to solve for a. I chose the bottom one because it's easier numbers. There I rewrote that equation too. I substitute that 8 in for x, and we solve for a. For a, 10 times 8 is 80. 8 is 24 plus a. And once again, it's a balancing scale. Here's an equal sign. What I do to one side, I do to the other. Left and right is going down by 24. If they both go down by the same amount, they will still be equal. And see how I intentionally put the equal signs in line and makes it easier. So left side going down by 24 gives me 56. I happen to write it on this side. And the right side minus 24 just leaves me with a. If I have 24 plus a, subtract 24, I get a. And there's the 80 minus 24. 80 minus 24 is 56. I just switch sides. So the answer is 56. The area of the middle rectangle is therefore 56 kilometers squared. Thank you.